Hi everybody, it's Joni Young here. Welcome back to my channel for another painting tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to paint flowers. I'm working on a 16 by 20 gray primed canvas. You can pre-paint your canvases light gray. Darker or lighter than this is fine as well. And I've got the following colors here. I'm going to be working in a limited palette of blue, black, and white. So we're going to make darker and lighter tones with each of these colors, starting off with titanium white, Mars black, cobalt blue, phthalo turquoise, and these are all by Holbein. And I have the following brushes here. A large soft mop brush, about 2 inches in diameter, but you can use one larger or smaller than this. Make sure it's soft bristled and not hog hair, so you want more of a synthetic bristle for the technique we're going to use this for. And then I've got my filbert brush here, number 14. I'll be painting some flower petals with and some leaves. I have a number 2 rigger brush, long rigger liner brush for some stems. And I've also got a number 50 filbert brush for blocking in and covering larger areas, as well as my jumbo 70 flat brush. So let's go ahead and get started with the first step. The first thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit of water to the canvas. This is going to allow me to blend my acrylics and spread them around the canvas a lot easier. This is a good tip for helping your acrylics act a little more like oils. This makes the canvas surface a little slippery. So I'm going to start off with adding some white. We're going to do a grayscale. So I'm going to add some white here in the center. Choosing one area of your landscapes or paintings to add a light source in is really important for creating a nice looking painting that helps draw the viewer in. And now I'm going to add a little bit more water to my brush, pick up some black, and I'm going to come in from the side here. I still have a little bit of white left in my brush. I haven't washed it out. So I'm going to gradiate and make it a little darker here on the side. I'm going to take a little bit more white without washing my brush off. And I'm just going to kind of wiggle and squiggle around here. Just use the bottom of the brush, kind of dance around. Yes, I'm going over part of the white here. I'm going to create kind of a blurry looking background sky. And then before that can dry, we're going to take our mop brush and just go around in little circles, blending to make it look soft and blurry. Now, if your paint's drying really fast, you can pick up just a little bit of water. Just get the ends of your bristles wet. And then I always take another mop brush that's dry and clean and just go over again to make it look even softer. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is take my large 50 filbert brush. I'm going to get the canvas wet down here. And we're just going to pull for the brush strokes. Pull like this and flick upward, kind of creating a little bit of an arch shape to draw those flowers into the light. But I want to make the canvas a little wet first. And I'm going to start with a little bit of white and I want to build up some highlights on the grass. Okay, kind of just up and down lightly like this. See how the bristles are spreading apart? And I'm bringing it, kind of looks like a storm cloud with rain right now, doesn't it? That's what I'm seeing anyways, but we're going to change that. We're going to paint the flowers coming out after the storm. So I'm bringing this light in, and then we're going to come in over top with our darker shades. So with a little bit more water on my brush and some black, I'm going to come from the bottom of the canvas now and pull up. So it really helps, can't emphasize it enough, have some water in your brush. But see how dramatic the perspective is? This is the type of perspective I really, really love. I love feeling like we're looking up at the sky, kind of lying down in a field of flowers and gazing up. I just think it's so dreamy. So see how quickly you can create a perspective, a dramatic perspective like this with very simple brush strokes, a few brushes. Remember to add water. Okay, I'm gonna rinse that brush out and I'm gonna switch over to my long liner rigger brush. And I'm gonna get it really wet. I'm going to scoop up some black, and I'm just going to come in and add some flower stems here. Again, curving them, making the lines kind of arch like this for our stems. Now you need to dunk your brush in the water a lot when you're using a liner, especially a long one like this, because having the water in the brush is really going to help execute the brush stroke. So we're going to make some of these stems, or, you know, they could be blades of grass too. We're going to make them a little thicker. So I'll just go over some of them. Now I've been really, really enjoying working with Holbein paints. I love Liquitex as well. I like to use both. But Holbein was kind enough to send me a whole case of their beautiful paints, and I'll be demonstrating one of their new mediums, gouache acrylics. I can't wait to show you guys how beautiful they are and all the nice colors, the texture of them, and the versatility that they offer. Okay, so I'm going to come in and add just a few more thicker pieces in here. I want to completely dry this off, and then we can come in and start adding our flowers without the blue picking up too much of the black. Okay, so now that this is all dry, I'm going to be using my number 14 filbert brush to paint some flowers, and we're going to paint these really loosely, impressionistic. And anybody watching right now, if you thought you couldn't paint flowers because you don't think you're ready for it yet, I'm going to change your mind. I want everybody to feel like they can all paint and join in. So we're just going to do apply simple brush strokes and techniques. Lots of dipping, dabbing, and pulling and twisting and turning with a brush. Everybody can do that. And I'm going to start with a little bit of the phthalo turquoise. And I'm going to add little dabs like this. So just a little bit on the end of my brush, and I'm going to push and tap and dab. So we want the stocky flowers like delphiniums. I'm thinking about delphiniums right now. They're going to be smaller and smaller, and then we're going to push a little bit harder and gently make bigger circles. No, they don't have to be perfect circles. Okay, I'm going to do a few of these here and there. Okay, some little taps like that. And then we're going to make them bigger. And you can kind of stagger them. If yours are a little smaller or a little bigger than mine, that's fine. Just make sure that they're smaller at the top and they get bigger closer to us. Just like the grass, everything's bigger here and then it gets smaller. That's how you're going to create the perspective. I'll continue down here. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is pick up a little bit of white. Mix that around on my brush. And I'm going to add a little bit of white to those dabs. And then as they get bigger, I'm going to start to go around, leaving the centers dark. Kind of just wiggle around. Well, these could be foxgloves too. They're very similar to the stock flowers. I love big old English flower gardens that have, you know, all those gorgeous cottage types of flowers, the lupin, the foxgloves, delphinium, hollyhocks. Okay, so see how there's a little bit more or less white in some of them. All you have to do is just add a lighter shade around the edges and keep it dark inside. Okay, so let's continue. I'm going to add a little bit more of this. This is my new favorite shade of turquoise. It is just gorgeous. The pigments and the richness of the Holbein paints are like nothing else I've ever used. And I've been painting a long time, guys. I've tried every paint out there that's known to me. And these are by far the best quality. But Liquitex Basics are nice too, and I do use those a lot. Okay, so just little dabs, just using the tip of the brush, making sure I get that paint out of, sometimes the paint will work its way down to the ferrule. It's that little gold part here, and it can wreck your brushes. So I just think the pop of color here against the gray canvas, the gray tones, grayscale is just lovely. You could do this with pinks, purples. I just did a garden archway, all grayscale like this with stones and crimson and naphthol, like bright red and darker red. So be sure to check that out if you haven't seen that one yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take some of the cobalt blue now, and I'm going to add some more little flowers. This is kind of mixing in a little bit with that blue turquoise. So we're going to create some different shades, and I love that. Kind of nice if you can use the leftover paint in your brush and have it kind of spill over to the next color you're using. Okay, I'm going to take some white now, mix it with the cobalt. And this time I'm going to tap and dab, make them look a little frillier, more like delphiniums. Now, if you guys have a favorite flower that you haven't seen me paint yet and you want to, leave a suggestion down in the comment section below this video. So I'm not bringing these down into the center of the flower. We're going to keep the center of the flower dark. Again, just a little pull, pushing with the end of my brush here, or the side. So don't worry about trying to take your time and make perfect looking flower petals. It's almost as if the looser and more carefree you are with your hand, the nicer they look. Now, as we get up to the top, we're just going to kind of dab and tap around here. Pick up a little bit more white, just right here. Okay, so I'm going to just rinse my brush out and get all of that white out of there, so we can start with our straight cobalt again. And I'll add another one right here next to that. Dab, dab. And then make them fuller. I'm going to come inside and dab some of these just with the cobalt blue, just the centers to make them a little bit darker. Okay, I'm going to take my white now I think out of all I've tried almost every variety of delphiniums in my gardens, and this one here is like a periwinkle. I think that's what it is. Anyways, the light bluey violet one, periwinkle, like this one, is my favorite. I think it just looks really delicate, especially in a bouquet of peonies and roses. Okay, and then around here, we're just going to add the little dabs. Okay, so now what I want to do is take a little bit more white with this turquoise. I'm gonna push off on the side of the brush, and I'm gonna come down and loop like this. And then add a little bit more white on. Always tinted with a little bit of the color though. Okay, and I'm going to come in and add some more, starting with those top ones. And then blue turquoise. Pick up some blue turquoise with the cobalt. Pick up some white. Little twist. Nothing fancy here. You don't need to go to any art school to follow along. And art, painting in particular for me, is very meditative, very relaxing. It's a way to kind of just stop thinking about things for a minute, you know, everyday life things. And just take some time for yourself, lose yourself in something so relaxing. Pick your favorite colors when you're painting. Okay, I'm just going to come in now and add even looser brush strokes, just little pushes and smushes. A little bit of white. And then even more white at the tops of some of these. I'm doing these even looser and messier so they look blurrier and farther away, out of focus. Okay, I'm going to pick up some black now and just mix it in with the remaining turquoise and cobalt. And just add little bits here and there. And now with a clean brush and mostly just white, but there's just a hint of a little bit of blue in there. Tap and dab. Clean brush and straight white only. I'm going to come in here and add some more light. Now for some leaves, I'm just going to take some black, a little bit of white, could be some blue in there too. You're just going to push, wiggle, twist and let off. You can have a few leaves here and there if you want, but I kind of like just the stalks and the lines going like this and just all going towards the light. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. So I'll see you guys soon in another video. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more. Take care. Bye.